Hi everyone, it's me, Tim. Today I want to talk to you about trying role playing. You may be wondering what I'm saying because you're probably already thinking you're doing that. You're playing role playing games. You're playing a lot of RPGs and you're playing games that say they have RPG elements. But I think in a lot of those, people don't really do role playing. At best, they may be handed a role and go, okay, that's what I'm going to play. But let me walk through what I mean. A lot of people play role playing games, including my own. They follow the main story exactly. They min max their build, even if that means they have to look things up online and go, what's the best way to get treasure, or the fastest way to level, or the way to do the most damage with the most common weapons, or whatever. And then they treat all the quests and achievements as a checklist. This is what I got to do, so I'm going to do it. Is this wrong? No, I am not saying this is wrong. What I am saying to you is, could I please suggest an alternative? Try role playing in a computer role playing game in a different way. Basically, find a role playing game that lets you make a lot of different possible builds, player builds. And I'm usually just one. Don't take one that has a group. So right now I've cut off a lot of role-playing games. If it hands you a pre-made character, especially if it's pre-named, and here you are, and that's not what I'm talking about. I want you to try role-playing, computer role-playing games the way I learned to play them, which is effectively from tabletop role-playing games where you made a character completely from scratch, or early computer role-playing games. I'm talking about before the time where things were handed to you, like here's exactly what you look like, and here's your background, and here's all your traits and all your quirks. It used to be, look, here's some numbers for your attributes, basic attributes. Here's some skills. And you also might get an ability list, or you pick a class and that comes with an ability list. You had to decide what your character was like. And what I mean by that is, what is it your character likes? What is it your character hates? What is it your character loves? And that's different than like, just not I enjoy this, but I seek this out. Also, what do I fear? Is there anything out there that I literally will not interact with because I'm terrified of it? Then play that way. And do these things because you want to, not because you have to. This means look in a game you've played before and look for features you rarely used. Or stop using the ones you always use. If you find yourself playing the game and you're playing it as a stealth archer, again, don't play that way on this playthrough. This may mean that there's a lot of things features you looked at that are there that the game is providing, but you're not using them. For example, maybe you can sleep in an inn. Maybe you can buy a meal. And there's also things that it offers you that you don't have to do. Maybe you don't like going in dark places. So caves, dungeons, nope, not going in those. Maybe you can steal from people, but you choose not to. And this includes if you find a dead body, you don't take things off of it. In fact, I would even say avoid killing people unless it's self-defense. If somebody attacks you, then by all means, fight back. And if the game provides a way of terminating the combat without killing them, like you put your weapon down and maybe they do too, take it. But if you kill in self-defense, then don't loot the body because you're playing a character that doesn't take things off dead bodies. Maybe it's because of your religion. Maybe it's because you think of yourself as a good person. Maybe you think that's icky. Maybe you still think that's stealing because it kind of is. By the way, the game will be offering you quests and achievements. That's fine. That's what computer role-playing games do. It doesn't mean, though, you have to play that way. And that's kind of my point in here. The games I made let you kill everyone or almost everyone. It doesn't mean you should. It doesn't even mean you that should be the main goal you have in the game. You can play a lot of my games as a pacifist. Beyond that, you can roleplay anything. You could roleplay as a character who's an optimistic person, and then when you get dialogue options, you always pick the friendliest, most trusting ones you can because that's how you want to be. Maybe you love luxuries. Maybe you look for really expensive inns. Maybe you buy the most expensive thing on the menu because you're playing someone who, I've got this wealth, I want to spend it on really good experiences, not just carry around and see how much wealth I can have. Maybe you want to play a vegetarian. I know someone who did that in World of Warcraft. Wouldn't eat any meat. Wouldn't even drink milk. It was water and plant food, plants. Same person also played an octogenarian, saying, look, I'm going to role play someone who's old. What that means is, even though the game lets you run and sprint, she didn't do it. She walked everywhere. Why don't you decide what you want to role play and then play that way? And in fact, what I'm saying is, at this point, is own it. Own this character. If you play a role-playing game and you think the story is dumb, make your own story. Stop following the quests. Stop worrying about what level you are. Stop worrying about how hard the game is and what you should be doing and what achievements you're not getting, what items you're missing, and just play the game you want to play. Forget the story. If you think it's dumb, why are you playing it? If you think the pacing is off, pace yourself. If you don't think there's enough combat, fight more. Fight more people. Fight more animals. Fight more monsters. If you think there's too much combat, avoid it. If the game provides stealth or invisibility spells or whatever, do that. Maybe you just want to buy a place and farm on it. Do that. It's fine. If that's all you want to do, you're farming. You take your stuff to market and you sell it. You use that to buy some nice luxuries or some nice fancy food that you can't grow, or nice clothes or whatever, or decorations for your house. Do that. And if the game you're playing doesn't support doing that, find one that does. My whole point here is you should be the driver and not the passenger. Sometimes when I read a review and I look at a role-playing game and something doesn't match up for me, the person is saying they didn't like this game, but the game didn't make them play the way they did. And I always think, oh, they're taking on the role of passenger. They're being completely passive and going, okay, game, show me what you got. And then they sit there and try to interact with it like it was a movie. Like the game will take care of pacing. The game will take care of everything that is supposed to be coming from you, the player, the person with agency. What am I saying in all this? One simple thing. Try role-playing. For once, when you're playing a role-playing game, don't play a role-playing game. Role-play. See how that works out for you.